being here this evening.
Thank you, councillors and aldermen, alderwomen. Okay. Well, those who don't know me, I'm Jean Carter Mackenzie. I'm a Gamilaroi woman, and also I belong to the Eora Nation people of the Sydney area, where the first colonisation took place. I've been in this area now for over 67 years. I've worked in this particular area of Nowra, working in health and mental health, drug and alcohol policies, all that sort of thing. I've been listening to Steve with all the prophecies that have been made about this little plot, this very sacred ground that we have in Huskisson, where ancestral burials have been laid. Now, it hasn't been brought to the attention, I don't believe, of the councillors, the importance of this particular land. Aboriginal people have kept quiet about it, which is more or less a protection site for us. It's a way of protecting our sacred land. I haven't got the skills and the language which Steve can present to you, this wonderful idea of this great building that's going to go there, and it's going to zigzag around amongst the sacred burial ground. But let me tell you that that land, underneath that soil, is Aboriginal remains, very sacred remains of our people. We don't know how many are there, but the proper probing hasn't been done, and I don't want to see a probe done on that. That land is more than 40,000 years old. Okay? Your own carbon copying and dating proves that. We've got our old people that are the keepers of the mountain, of the rivers, around us still. And they tell you the stories of those ancestral remains. I know the Aboriginal ministers that are going around now in this country, going to these sacred sites, burial sites, going to the massacre sites, and having to release the spirit of our people from these graves where they've been murdered by the first colonists of this country. And not only that, this day and age now where our children are being slaughtered in a way with the incarceration in the prisons, all that. You all know the history of that. And I don't want to go into that. I, myself, am a stolen generation person. I say stolen. I actually was abducted from my mother's arms at the age of 11, sorry. Now, my baby brother went into Bombardieri over here. He was 2 years of age, taken from my mother's arms. When that happened, my sister and I were taken to Cootamundra and one brother further up the north coast to Kempsey, right out of our country, away from our mother and fathers, our teachers, our cousins, aunties, etc. But I just wanted to see, looking around this room here, and I think about Bombardieri Home, where our babies were taken, and I'm sure many of you elders in this room here would have helped provide the needs of those children. They would have had a heart for those children, because I know they went to the schools here, and they went to the hospital here, and went to other social gatherings. Now, with this, going back to this site, if these remains of our people keep being dug up, the bones put in museums or sent overseas to England where they were preserved and looked at and studied, just think what could happen to the future of this country. Aboriginal people were given this land by the great Creator. He gave us this land, and we welcomed people into it. There was no way that we were going to know. We thought when Captain Cook was coming into the country, we thought they were ghosts. You had white faces, so you looked like you were white ghosts coming into the country. They were given water, lots of water and food.
Thank you, Councillor Wells. Seconded by Councillor Levitt. Thank you.
But can I just say about
there's
this
none, it's
beautiful
carried.
little plot of land? It's there. I've gone there past there. I've been confirmed in an Anglican church. I went to church when I was a little girl. But when I look at that little church, I used to see the notice on the wall all the time. The minister would put something up about the love of Jesus, and that's what I'm asking for: compassion, understanding for our people that are still in torment and cannot rest until all these problems have been solved. So, you know, I think it's a little bit. I know Nowra quite a bit. I worked here for 10 years in one particular position. Just up in the corner of North Street and Osborne Street, you have a beautiful graveside there. What if in 5 or 10 years' time, or even 6 years' time, 3 years' time, a developer with lots of money wants to come and put a motel, a 3-storey building on it? Are you going to sit back and approve of that? Like if you approve of this building that's going to go up in Huskisson on sacred Aboriginal ground.
Thank you. Auntie Jean.
Anyone want to ask me a question? I'm really prepared to answer it.
So any questions, councillors?
I thank you all for listening. I didn't prepare it as I would have liked to in a more way, but I'm just speaking from my heart. As an Aboriginal woman, I'll be 87 in a couple of months' time, so, you know, I've had a lot of experience. I came into Nowra when we had no preschool, no little babies going to preschool here. This is back in the early 80s. I came in there, there was no home care. I came in here and I set up the first Aboriginal Women's Health Centre in the state of New South Wales. And so, you know, I've had a lot of experience and worked with World Vision, I'm very happy to say, for 10 years. And that, so I've met a lot of people, and I know most people have a great heart for Indigenous people and people around the world, you know, and you welcome into our country the refugees and things like that, and the beautiful Muslim people and their beautiful face. So thank you all for now. If you don't want to ask me any questions, I'll stay on. Thank you.
They're letting you off the hook easy tonight, Auntie, so thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Our final speaker on this issue is Dr.